All right, Penguins fans, with holidays in the rearview mirror and spring just down the road, it's time to gear up for some Penguins hockey.
He scores!
The end of January is packed with home games, theme nights, and marquee matchups at PPG Paints Arena.
We got another 2-point party on 5th Avenue.
It's the Penguins versus the Red Wings on Friday, January 28th. Get your tickets today at www.pittsburghpenguins.com. Penguins season presented by UPMC.
What you are about to witness is not for the faint of heart. This is Office Baked. All right, we are going to do a actual Office Baked for once. We're back in the office, not in the studio, but when the boss says break out the recorder, it's definitely a good story. So, here we go. Let's get this story.
This is a tale of moving in the winter.
So what had happened was... Do you want me to tell it or you tell it?
Well, yeah, you tell it. I'm eating my sushi.
Okay, your turn.
Did you just change nationalities like the way she says sushi? I be eating my sushi.
My sushi.
We only have Pepsi.
Oh my god.
Get out.
Everywhere.
Get out.
Hang on, I must text Frank.
Go that way.
Oh! Okay. We're getting sidetracked here, making fun of other people. So what had happened was, I'm moving.
Yeah, she's moving. So for right now, she's staying with a friend, and we had to take apart a bunk bed, and we needed Allen wrenches. So we go back.
And you don't own Allen wrenches?
No, I own a shit ton of Allen wrenches.
Are they the right size?
Yeah, but we had to go back to the apartment to get them.
Because when she first stopped, she grabbed what I told her to grab, but unfortunately they weren't the right size.
So we went back and just fucking grabbed all of them.
Okay.
So we were going back, and we were just like thinking that we were just gonna go in there, grab them, and then leave. So she's over here in fucking shorts.
It's snowing.
And it's snowing, and I'm in a fucking t-shirt.
Mind you, I have 2 kayaks strapped to the top of my frickin' vehicle.
Yeah.
It looks like you're going to cheat lake.
Taking them to fucking storage. And so we get the Allen wrenches, we're on our way back, and you fucking tell Sierra, oh, it'll only be like 15 minutes, we'll be back.
Mm-hmm.
2 hours.
45 minutes later.
45 minutes later. Because on the way back, both of the kayaks fell off.
We didn't even hear the first one fall off. Okay, we didn't even hear it. I didn't even know.
You're just driving down the road going.
And the fucking funniest shit was the other one, when the second one fell off, it was still attached. So it's just like riding alongside of the truck.
Peeking in at me at the driver's window like, hello, I fell off, hello. And I'm like, oh shit.
And she stops and it comes up to the driver's side window. She looks over and she's just like, hello.
It's like that scene from National Lampoons when they're towing the trailer and he gets the turn and the trailer's right beside him.
That's not the worst of it though.
Oh shit.
We get them back up.
Okay. Attach them properly.
And we had to drive back up the road to find the other one, stop in the middle of the road, and put it back up there.
Thank God no one stole it.
So we got them both back up there. We drive like
10 feet.
Yeah, like
10 feet. That's at the max.
10 feet down the road, and they both fall off again.
We're fucking freezing our asses off here.
Like bungee cords? What's the problem of them not staying up?
Apparently I'm fucking stupid. That's the problem. And I didn't ratchet strap them properly. Yeah.
So the second time around, she just said, fuck it, shoved the other one in the back.
That's what's happening now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So that's why I have a boat. In
you have a vehicle sticking out of your vehicle.
Yeah.
That's why I have a vehicle sticking out of my vehicle, yes. All the joys of moving.
No, but I was, the second time around, I was about to just tell her that, to just, like, strap it to the back, and I would just
Write
go
it.
sledding. Just
That actually sounds like a good idea. Even if you held on to the ratchet strap and
Like, we could try it. We could try it in the parking lot. I'm down. I'm hella down.
until
I'll
you
hold
go
on.
Until I
strap.
yeet you into a pole.
Hey, I'll do it.
I was
got
gonna
a
say
helmet
that or
in
a
my
fucking
car,
car.
because I have my, like, what is that called? My Naira circuit helmet. When I went to H2O to actually like drift my car, you had to have like a racing grade helmet to actually partake. So like I went and got this whole DOT approved, and I look like I'm like one of those stupid. Remember in Dumb and Dumber when he has his motorcycle?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like that, where it's like covers here, no face shield, covers around.
It's just this.
Yes, just this. Like the cheapest run of
Your
the mill.
brain is protected, but fuck your face.
Exactly. Exactly. I will gladly do it if we all clock out.
No, it would be fun until I got hit by a motherfucking car, because she'd go around the curve and I'd go this way.
That's when you
No,
let go.
we'll do it. We'll do it late enough. We'll do
Yeah.
it late enough to where there's not,
As
like.
much traffic. There's still
Pulling
some,
here.
but
And if it happens to be snowing, all the people are gonna fuck off by dark anyways.
true. Talking about snow and everything.
Fuck the snow.
This kind
Fuck the
of
snow. Can't take the shit anymore.
Proceed.
yeah. So I was trying to get home
Oh, I was
yesterday,
thinking about
and I drive a Barth for people that don't know. It's a front-wheel drive, very fast sports car, twin turboed.
The fuck did I get ginger on my keyboard?
Why have y'all racist against people with red hair? I can't help it if you wanted to sit on your laptop, but shit.
Oh my god. It was fucking ginger, the root?
The root. Hey. That was a historical movie, and it
Oh my
it
god!
taught us to not disrespect people
I was
of
forced
color.
to watch that movie in school.
I think I watched it in school too, actually. Catholic school too.
Well, here's the thing: half of myself owned the other half of myself.
Hair.
Hang on. So, mind you, we live in Morgantown, which is basically, let's take the worst drivers from every state and ship them to this tiny little town that they want to call a city. And maybe
Vegas then.
or Chicago or New York, because I think that if Tom Brady was here, and I know I'm going to sound like the announcer from John Madden football from back in the day, they're like, if Tom Brady had a football, man, he could throw that football across Morgantown. It's so small. Holy crap! Look at Tom Brady. Yeah, that's basically what you're looking at. Is like it's that small. You blink, you miss it. If it wasn't for the college, it wouldn't fucking...
See, that's the problem. It isn't drivers from everywhere. It's kids from everywhere.
Yeah.
Buying
So,
meal.
last night, I leave here, and I didn't have any issue going most of the way home. And I normally go a specific way, and I'm very OCD or anal about certain things. Like, this is the way I go home. This is the person I go to get my car fixed. This is the person I go to for sound systems. This is the person I go to get my ass kicked. You have a list. It's just like I've grown accustomed to certain things. So I make it, past campus and everything, and I'm doing good, Now, mind you, front-wheel drive sports car, turbo. I have a Jeep Grand Cherokee in front of me, and the person is walking down this hill, and they're basically, slipping and sliding. So their buddy in the Jeep Grand Cherokee that's in front of me decides to stop at the cusp of the hill and have a conversation with them as they're falling. So now I'm not moving. I'm, trying to verge into this driveway and everything because there's just no way I'm going to get back momentum. Like the turbo that I'm using and everything, I'm just going to be sitting and spinning. So instead of these people that caused the problem to ask me, hey, do you need help or anything? Oh, no. They're in their Jeep Grand Cherokee. They're freaking gone. They're already home. Their Tootsies are warm, and they're eating their Chef Boyardee.
Oh, was that why you got stuck in the first place?
Yes! Yes!
So that's why my baby doesn't leave the driveway in this shit.
So then I call Terry, and I'm like, baby, I'm kind of, stuck on the big hill. And she goes, why'd you go that way? Oh, no, it looked kind of clear, and I was doing okay. And she goes, all right, well, let me get off the phone and call Peter. Fine. So I didn't really explain anything. I put my e-brake on, and I'm parked in front of this house, but I'm like kind of maybe an inch or two into the driveway. Mm-hmm. Like, I haven't really made it into the driveway because it's deep enough snow that I couldn't go any further. I didn't have enough momentum. I kind of coasted just by turning the wheel and sliding into said driveway because idiot number one decided, let's just, stop mid-hill because I'm driving an off-road vehicle. Let's not even care about the fuckers behind us.
Oh, yeah, I would have been so pissed.
Oh, I was fuming. So, because I was
fucker on Hartman Run Road that I got stopped behind yesterday.
Amen. And, you can't go around people on that hill. Where I got stuck. Because it was like, if you guys know where the Starbucks and the Sheets used to be on University.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. The big ass hill going to the townhomes. Like, where it just continuously, gets a steeper hill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I pulled into the house, the last house on the right before you get to the top. Mm. And so I put my flashers on, have my e-brake on. Peter says he's on his way walking because he doesn't want to crash the Jeep just in case because he doesn't want to be responsible. Whatever. So he comes, he looks at the situation, and I say, so what are we going to do?
In his fucking sleep pants and slippers.
He did have house shoes.
Slippers.
He did have house shoes on. And he's like, I wish I would have, worn boots and everything. And I'm like, you think? I'm here with, work boots on that haven't left my feet.
We weren't thinking the other day either, so
no,
we can't really talk.
Well, we didn't think the kayaks were going to fucking fall off the truck like shit.
So he gets there, and I'm like, so what are we going to do? And he's like, well, the only way that this is, going to work at all, you've got to be facing completely the other direction. And he's like, I'll get to the bottom of the hill in case you go too far and this kind of goes south. And I started my mind instantly hears that, and I'm like, what do you mean goes south? It's my birthday, I'd rather not be in a wreck in a tiny little toy car on my birthday in a snowstorm.
You chose the tiny toy car. You chose this life, Jay.
I know.
And you chose to drive it to work that day instead of
toy car life. TCL.
Gang. Toy car gang.
Yep. So he explains to me what we need to do, and he's like, you're going to put it in reverse. And I'm like, okay, what am I doing then? And I'm like, am I backing it at an angle into where the parking garage is? And he's like, oh, no. And I says, well, then what am I doing?
No, what do you mean? No.
He's like, as you're backing up, you're going to, kind of flutter the gas. And I'm thinking, well, that's going to shoot me into that parking lot. This really isn't a good idea. He goes, oh, but then you're going to hit the e-brake, and you're just going to 180 it and face Starbucks, and then drop it into, first. Well, he didn't even say drop it into first. He's like, and then you're just going to go down to University. And I'm like, well, should I drop it into first since I'm basically facing down a steep hill now? Well, I don't know much about driving in the snow. You're from Chicago. You conjured up this fast and furious plan. But he's like, well, your car is small enough. You could easily do a 360 in the middle of this fucking road and not even hit a curb.
I mean, true.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, fuck it. So, he's out there like,
Fuck it.
He's out there like this, arms spread, stopping. And he's like, he would start to stop traffic and there'd be people that just don't give a fuck. So they'd be coming up there and he goes, Jay, yeah, pull the e-brake. He's like, this person's got no respect. They don't give a shit. And I'm like, fuck.
Wow, I'd have thrown something at someone's car. I swear, I would have.
So I put it in reverse. I dropped the e-brake. I flutter the gas. So, I watch the turbo spool. So I start fluttering the gas. And, I literally feel myself sliding. There's no point of return now. Before, I was semi-safe at the entrance of this driveway. I am now, semi-backing up, but also sliding at an angle down said hill at the same time. Death is near Jay, and it's his birthday. It would suck to die on your birthday.
Yeah, it would.
Damn, you born and die on the same day. Son of a bitch, So, there's no turning back. So, Peter's like,
Foundation repair can be an intimidating term because a foundation is such a crucial part of a home's structural integrity. Do you have sloping floors, cracked walls, or sticking doors or windows? Well, if so, it could be a problem with your foundation. But don't worry, my friends at Keystone Basement Systems can help. Locally owned and operated, Keystone Basement Systems is the basement waterproofing and foundation repair experts in the Pittsburgh region. A weak or crumbling home foundation can put you in a real bind, but Keystone Basement Systems can take timely action to fix your foundation or basement repair needs. If foundation repair is left untreated, damage can be dangerous to your home, your family, and your finances. So contact my friends and experts at Keystone Basement Systems. Take the intimidation out of foundation repair with Keystone Basement Systems. Take advantage of 18 months interest-free financing. Visit Keystone Basement Systems at waterproofpgh.com and see what Keystone Basement Systems can do for you.
Okay, you ready? And I'm like, all right. So he's like, I'm going to stop traffic. Good. So I flutter it. I feel myself sliding, but I also finally feel the wheels semi-gripping. Okay, so I'm fluttering the gas, and basically I know that, I've got to do this. I've got to make a decision because I'm kind of sliding down the hill at an angle, but I'm also backing up. So I flutter the gas. I feel myself kind of get a little bit of a grip and kind of launch backing up, which in a sense isn't really as quick as a launch going forward. But then I realize, okay, now I'm in the middle of the street. So it's I rip the e-brake, feel myself start to hydroplane or spin around, and I'm like, oh shit. So
sliding and shit.
Yeah, but I'm spinning. So it's I'm looking at I originally was facing this house, and then I just start spinning, and I'm like, oh, there's the condos. Oh, there's the parking garage. Oh shit, there's the road I need to be facing. Drop it back down, pop it into first gear. Peter's like, hey, wait for me. I might weigh down the car. And I'm like, oh yeah, don't want to leave you here. Your ass walked here. So he quickly throws the fucking salt in the back of the car and hops in. So, we're in first gear creeping down to University Avenue, and he's like, don't go up North Street. He's like, people got stuck up there all day today. I'm like, all right, bet. So we go through the condo community that's past our community.
God damn it.
So we're back, and we're on University now. Because he got in and everything, we're in low gear, and he's like, you know what, don't turn up North Street, because people were getting stuck on it. Then he's like, don't turn on, what do you call it?
Did you go up behind University Place?
No. University Place is right after the mountain lair. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
No, I kept going, and where the Sheetz and the Starbucks on the left is, or used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. That giant hill. Yeah. That's where I got stuck. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, and there's like that house.
But did you go back up that way?
No, I went towards McDonald's and Terry's work, and basically then, in the town
went around.
Yeah, the townhomes that are basically past our house, there's an entrance to those, and even though it's like no through traffic, we went through that townhome community, and basically it comes out right after our townhome community. So I was at the dumpster because it has like a little hill that you have to go up to get to the main road to go to our townhome community. And I get to that dumpster and I start creeping up the hill and I'm starting to slide. But it's like I'm halfway up. So Peter's like, I've always wondered why you smell smoke when your tires aren't even getting a grip. He's like, you're just sitting here spinning on ice. And he's like, but we're smelling smoke. And so he gets out, sprinkles some salt and everything. And I ask him, should I turn the car around and try and back up the hill? Because being a front-wheel drive car, weight in the front, and I have a backup camera, I'm like, I might actually benefit that way. That the force be coming technically from the back then. And he's like, that's going to be a pain turning the car around. Let's just go for it. Well, his go for it was hilarious because he's like, all right, back up as much as you can by the dumpster. And I'm like, all right. He's like, now put her in drive and go like a bat out of hell.
Floor it.
Yeah. Well, but here's what's funny. My gauge said, like, on sports cars, basically, it'll go up in RPMs, and then the boost gauge goes up, and then,
turbo.
Yeah, all this stuff. Yeah. So Jay's sitting there, and I probably should be doing about 100 miles an hour, but because 90% of my car is slipping and sliding, I'm going like 5, but it sounds like I'm doing like 100. All you hear is crackle, crackle, pop, bing, crackle, crackle, pop, bing, crackle, crackle, pop. And poor Peter is behind my car, leg centimeters away from this giant largemouth DC Performance exhaust, trying to push me. And I swear he's going to fry his fucking leg. And he's just like pushing with all of his might. And, I just keep flooring it. I'm not even looking back. Like, I'm like, okay, I hope Peter doesn't fall, but fuck it. I'm getting to the top of this hill. So, come to find out, like, he said he didn't have to push that hard. But, I mean, obviously, he's sitting there with all his might just pushing this little toy car up.
I just keep imagining him standing out there in the snow in his fucking sleep pants and his house slippers.
Thank God he put jeans on. But like he said when he got there, he was like, I wish I would have wore my winter boots. And I'm like, you think? So I get
to even put jeans on.
So I get to the top of the fucking hill. And what does Jay do? He continues on. It didn't hit me until I'm backing into our townhome community and getting in the garage like, oh fuck, I left Peter back there.
Did he walk back?
Yeah, because once I got moving, you
can't stop because then you're gonna have to do it all over again.
Exactly. Even if I was on this straightaway going towards our community, like I didn't want to sit and spin. So once I got moving, like, and got around that turn of that little hill and kept on creeping, I was like, fuck it. Because the only time I stopped was when I got to the entrance and I threw it in reverse and backed down towards Peter's door and then parked in the garage. So what's funny is like I had already had to do that Fast and Furious type move. So in my head, like, because I'm a movie buff and all that, Peter's standing on my porch, kind of with his, hands on his hips, because it just clicks that I fucking left him at the other townhome community. After he uses probably all of his might to fucking push it. So then I'm like, think fast. And I use the Fast and Furious line that Vin Diesel said. I'm like, the Buster brought me home!
Oh my god, it's fucked up.
I was like, everybody else ran. Nobody gave a shit when that Jeep stopped, but the Buster brought me home.
Man, you guys are up on that hill. You would have been fucked either way you went home, honestly.
Yeah. And it wasn't even supposed to, start snowing that bad. I think it was just because we stopped. If I would have kept moving and kept the momentum, I would have been okay. But...
The fucking Jeep stopped.
Yeah, well, and it was just enough snow, and it was just the right temperature that it was a mixture of ice and slush.
Yeah.
And I have all-season tires on a front-wheel drive sports car that it was just the perfect storm for fuckery.
Yeah, luckily my vehicle is all-wheel drive, so when I got stuck on Hartman Run, I didn't have as much issue getting around that fucking car that decided to stop at the top of the goddamn hill.
But see, that hill is too narrow. That hill is too narrow.
I know, and I was trying to go around them, and I'm like, I can't even see what's on the other side of this fucking hill.
Because you're on the crest.
Yeah.
So if they come at you, you're an accident waiting to happen.
I was like,
couldn't you take it off-roading on the other side, or is that where the guardrail is?
No, that was the guardrail.
Oh, shit.
That was where the guardrail was.
Ew.
Over there, so I couldn't go that way, but I was like... Because they were just fucking stopped there. I'm like, why... they made it up the hill.
I get it. I've been in college, okay? And I've walked from the mountain lair to the district, to, college housing, to clubs, whatever. Even in the winter. Even in the coldest nights, I've went to a Mountaineer game. Even on Halloween night, when I'm layered the fuck up and I look down High Street and it's bitches in lingerie. And no. Let me even elaborate on that, because
I used
every outfit, every type of costume, for some reason,
slutty. They
have a slutty version. You could be the slutty cop, the slutty nurse, the slutty kitty cat,
slutty nun,
the slutty McDonald's worker. It's she's just duct taped a McDonald's badge to her fucking boobie and is walking down the
honestly. No,
and then she's got panties that say ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Oh my god.
And on the ass. I'm loving it. But it's every fucking thing. So growing up, it's you want to be a Transformer? Fine. When you're 10, you could be a Transformer. You can be Bumblebee. And then when you're 19 or 20 and you're away from mommy and daddy and you're at bumfuck nowhere college that thinks it's a city, you can be the sexy Transformer, for all those fucking geeks or, whatever, that have some kind of cosplay fetish that's I want you right now. And they can, transform into whatever you want them,
Just imagine the sexy Optimus Prime costume. Or a slutty Optimus Prime.
Well, okay, would a guy be wearing it or a girl?
No, a girl.
Well, it'd have to be a red and blue bikini.
Slutty gender bend.
You know what I'm saying? It'd have to be a red or blue bikini. And maybe some red or blue face and body paint to match, and maybe have the Autobot logo right above her chest or right above her crotchal area. But now I want to Google it, but I don't want to, because the last time I Googled shit, I ended up getting traumatized.
Shit that you did not want to see.
Well, then I was informed people that I know are utilizing this shit that I didn't want to see, and that really went downhill. I'm oh my god.
Was that when Ash was in here?
Yeah, and she's oh, I've got one of those, and I'm no. And I was just coming up with 2 random words. Like, what was it? Like foxtail or butt foxtail? Just some like random words.
I think it was just like butt fox or something.
Yeah,
fox butt.
Yeah, just some random stuff in Google to see what would come up.
Butt plug tail.
Yes. And then to hear her, oh, I've got one of those. When I was already traumatized by the images, it's like, would you like to add this to your Amazon cart? No! No, Alexa, shut the fuck up.
Have you told the story about what you did to Terry?
What one? Oh, okay.
The Alexa one.
Yeah. So Terry was downstairs. She wasn't feeling that well. And we kind of have a smart house. So we have like an Alexa. We have 3 Alexas, Amazon Show, which has a TV screen. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 cameras throughout the house that are voice activated and work through the phones. And then we have the command center down in my studio. So you can sit in one seat and like look at all the cameras and accommodate all the Alexas and everything. So I'm upstairs and like Terry's laying down. She's not feeling good. And I'm like, I'm going to play some video games, or maybe watch a horror movie, something you're not into. Don't worry about it. And she's like, okay, babe, have fun. You deserve it. You've worked hard. I'm an asshole. Like, no, I deserve bitch slapped for this, okay?
No, I know you did. You did.
So Terry fucking hates horror movies. Like, the only reason she even went and saw Halloween with me is because of the memory of Anthony. And, like, she had to make a game of it and count the bodies. So, like, we're sitting there eating popcorn and she's like, 29, 30... What the fuck are you doing? She's like, I'm counting how many he killed. And I'm like, like we're 5 minutes in and she's at like 30. And I'm like,
you gotta love Terry.
Even if it's like calm Terry, funny Terry, sugar low Terry, it's always a good time. So Terry's laid down. Lights are out. Okay. And I could see that from the top of the stairs. Lights are out. She's conked ready to go to sleep. So I go to YouTube and I basically pull up I have her iPad in my hand and I pull up the video of Saw where Billy is like, laughing and shit and riding it.
Foundation repair can be an intimidating term because a foundation is such a crucial part of a home's structural integrity. Do you have sloping floors, cracked walls, or sticking doors or windows? Well, if so, it could be a problem with your foundation. But don't worry, my friends at Keystone Basement Systems can help. Locally owned and operated, Keystone Basement Systems is the basement waterproofing and foundation repair experts in the Pittsburgh region. A weak or crumbling home foundation can put you in a real bind, but Keystone Basement Systems can take timely action to fix your foundation or basement repair needs. If foundation repair is left untreated, damage can be dangerous to your home, your family, and your finances. So contact my friends and experts at Keystone Basement Systems. Take the intimidation out of foundation repair with Keystone Basement Systems. Take advantage of 18 months interest-free financing. Visit Keystone Basement Systems at waterproofpgh.com and see what Keystone Basement Systems can do for you.
Start building your career with Sheet Metal Workers Local Union Number 12. First-year apprentices are starting at over $22 an hour with benefits. Graduate your apprenticeship debt-free. Call 412-828-1386 or visit smlocal12.org to sign up for their placement test on February 26th and for more details on how you can start a great career with Sheet Metal Workers Local Union Number 12.
His little tricycle, and then you hear Jigsaw going, "You don't know me. Do you want to play a game? Locked inside your chest is a key. It unlocks the fact that you are going to die if you don't get it in the next 30 seconds. The game starts now." And she's freaking the fuck out. Like, to the point, like, she's already probably jumped 6 feet out of the bed. And she's looking around. And I couldn't help myself. Like, she just starts yelling, Jay, 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 something or someone, our Alexa's possessed. And I come downstairs and I have the iPad and I just hit play right in front of her. And it goes, want to play a game? And she goes, you fucking asshole. So then, mind you, what's Jay want to do? He wants to go back to actually playing his game or watching a horror movie. Like, this didn't affect him. No.
You fucking backfired on you.
Yeah, Terry's like, well, are you going to lay with me now? Now I'm scared. And I'm like, it was me. There was nothing real to be scared of. And she's like, well, you can't be an asshole. You got to lay with me now so that I know nothing's going to get me. She's like, I've seen all those YouTube videos where Alexa gets possessed and starts talking like demons and shit. And I'm just like, oh my God. And then instantly came to thought was that 70s show where Hyde was messing with Fez. And, like, it was about playing the record backwards and everything. So Hyde acts like he's possessed, and he's like, I am the great Adu, you will do this. And he's like, Fez, get me a pop, man. Get me a pop. You will fall to the Lord. The Dark Lord wants a pop. Remember that?
I fucking love that show. I wonder if that's still on Netflix.
That is one of the best shows.
I used to just, like, binge watch it constantly on Netflix.
And it's timeless. Because, like, I watched a thing on YouTube how many times Red Foreman said, you know...
Put a foot in your ass.
Yeah. And it was like 8 minutes long for like 5 seasons or something. And it was like the different things, the scenarios. He's like, so what are you doing today? Well, I thought I'd go park cars, you know, as a job. How about I park my foot in your ass? And I'm just like, every time he had things. And then he's like, do you remember the episode where, what's his name? Kelso broke the Pong machine because he wanted to make bigger paddles.
Yes!
He's like, if you break it, it's yours. And Kelso was hiding in the garage because he knew Red was going to kill him. Because, like, those things were expensive when they first came out. Like, that's probably, like, equivalent to buying an Xbox Series X now. Like, rich families only had, like, an Atari or a Pong back then.
Right?
Like, now you can find them at, like, flea markets and shit. It's like, would you like our Pong machine?
Or, like, antique shops.
Yeah. No, I don't want your Pong machine. That's like buying a VCR. Or buying outdated Playboys. If there's grass on the field, we're not playing.
I only have...
You didn't even pick up on that.
Wait, what'd you say? I wasn't even paying attention to what you said. I was somewhere else for a minute.
I said, so that's like being at a flea market and finding old Playboys. If there's grass on the field, we're not playing. You know, you got like, it's like caveman Playboys from like the 70s. It's like, she's got the bikini on, but it like, she's got a full on, you know, fucking, what's his name? The guy, like, buckwheat going on down there. Like, peeking out from every angle. The jungle. Vag of the jungle. It is scary.
Oh
Vag of the jungle. Watch out for that tree.
Do you want to play in the jungle?
Do you want to play a game? Somewhere in between this hair is a vagina. If you find it in the next 30 seconds, you may get sex. The game starts now.
But what happens if you don't find it in 30 seconds?
She may get bored and tell you to go home.
Your dick gets chopped off.
Well, she may look at you and be like, well, you're inexperienced. Get the fuck out of here. Like, I mean, if you're down there for 30 seconds and haven't found anything, you probably don't need to be fucking around with that kind of woman.
I mean,
I'm not wrong. Like, if you're down there for 30 seconds and nothing has taken place, like, you're just staring at it, like, oh, what the fuck do I do with this? It's kind of like the...
I mean, it's in the same spot. It didn't move. It's just... you just can't see it right now.
It has some foliage.
It's got some vegetation.
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 Oh, there you go. Well, and I mean, it's kind of like how I found out about sex, you know? Actual Playboys. Like, here's a vagina. Here's what you do with it. No, you just fucking get Playboys and fucking jack off. So, like, the first time, it's like, you know, they sit there and, like, thank God you didn't stick it in a belly button, you know?
Jesus Christ, Jay.
Our sex ed was, hey, cook an egg, cook a tiramisu, fucking sew some shit, get shown pictures of horrible STDs. That was our sex ed. They didn't fucking tell us anything. So,
I mean, I feel like that's the extent everywhere.
yeah, they don't, like, I think, honestly...
They teach you about, like, the anatomy, but they don't teach you, like...
how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, they're like, oh, here's a banana, let's shove it. What, I feel bad...
Let's fucking shove a condom on this banana.
Yeah, wait, because think about this. What if you've got, like, a fucking moron that then...
There's a lot of those in the world.
True. And a lot of them eat here. But think about this, though. Think... you know, the dumbest kid you went to school with. Because I know one. He went by the name Booger. Oh, no, that was his nickname. He ran track with me. Okay? This motherfucker, I swear, probably the first time he's sitting there, if the girl was giving it up, she's like, okay, you know, we're going to go back to my place and you're going to come in for coffee. Like, he might be smart enough to say, hey, you know, it's 9 o'clock, I don't need coffee. But regardless, he'll go inside, okay? So she's going to go get herself comfortable. This fucker is probably in the fridge finding a banana to put the condom on.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? Like, think of those people that are like, well, we didn't really get a lesson on using a condom on our cock. So at the end of the day, we were taught how to put it on a banana. So, fuck it. Then you come back 9 months later, you're like, well, the bitch got pregnant. Did you use a condom? Yes, exactly how I was showed in health class.
Oh my God, right? I put it on the banana.
I did what Mrs., you know, what Mr. Pigeon showed me how to do. It's like... oh, shit.
Like, I'm pretty sure... my sex ed class in high school was taught by the fucking football coach.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mr. Pigeon taught me. Which is the same guy that we played drops with. Like, he would heave a football at you. And if you dropped it more than 3 times, you were out. This person taught me track. Like, I would be running miles. Like, and I would look at him and knowing my legs are about to give up. And he'd be like, take a salt tablet. Like, this guy was a fucking drill sergeant. And then he's like, all right, up on the projector is scabies. You don't want to get that shit. Up on the projector is crabs. That's another one. Yeah, you know, things happen in Vegas. This shit's come back. And I'm just like, what are we learning here? Okay, now today I was told I got to show you how to put a condom on. So we're going to need you to get the bananas that we handed out, open the condom, and put it on the banana. Okay, tomorrow we're making tiramisu.
No, when they show you those pictures of the, like, STDs and shit, it makes me think of, you remember that South Park episode when they went and did that timeshare in Aspen and they were, like, all skiing, and the ski instructor was teaching the kids how to ski, and he was like, if you pizza when you're supposed to French fry, you're gonna have a bad time. Do you remember that?
No, now I want to look it up.
It's like if you have sex, you're gonna have a bad time.
Well, the thing is, and like they don't be like, they don't sit you down and like, here's what they should do. And I know this sounds horrible, and I'm probably going to get a lot of No, I won't. My listeners are stoners. They don't give a fuck. But I think that they should split them off. Have like girls sex ed over here with a female teacher, and maybe guys sex ed over here.
I mean, yeah, they should
with
do
the
it that
guys.
way.
And here's what you do in the guys sex ed. They're like, here's a vagina. Here's what you do with it. Just be real. Because, like, I read an article yesterday.
Could you imagine them just, like, whipping out a pocket pussy or some shit?
Or a full-on sex doll.
With the banana.
Oh, my God.
The banana with the condom.
on it. Well, then you got the ones that are, like, not smart enough to realize that that's their cock. So then the girl's like, hey, I'm going to let you have sex tonight. You bought me Sizzler. And the guy's like, oh, yeah, I'm getting sex. Gets home. Goes to her fridge, gets the banana, and just starts going to town on her. Talk about banana split.
Oh my God.
The chick's like, well, that was nice. Are you going to use your dick anytime soon? Like, how do you politely tell someone, do you mind stop fucking me with that banana? It's kind of like when you're on High Street and you see all the college girls. Would you mind putting your vagina away in public? Because, like, if I walk down the street with my cock out, I've got an indecent exposure. You, it's a normal Saturday night outfit.
Right. Oh my God. We had like a whole fucking test on just the STDs. Like we had to learn like,
what they are, what the symptoms were.
Yeah.
And then like every time, like God forbid you got an itch or something, you're
fucking
out.
terrified.
Yeah.
Like, what if I have chlamydia? I've never had sex, but what if I had chlamydia?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a dumb ass. Okay. I was with Terry for a week. I don't know if you heard this story.
I don't think so.
Okay, I was with Terry for a week. We did adult activities, we shall say. Okay, we did the deed.
As one does.
Yes. When you're an adult. So, Jay, again, we're discussing symptoms, paranoia, all that. So Jay just starts peeing blood. So his first instincts are, I'm breaking up with this chick. She's gave me something. I actually called Terry. I'm like, yo, this ain't cool, bro. I'm kind of like peeing blood. It was great. Have a good day.
Did she say anything?
She was like, okay, if you feel that way. So I go to the doctor because I'm like freaking out, and I'm like, so break it down to me, doc. You know, how long does my dick got to live?
Give it to me straight.
Yeah, how long does my dick got to live? I mean, do I need to run out here and get some bitch pregnant because it might fall off in a month? So they come back. Doctor looks at me and he goes, you've got the normal common kidney infection. Go home. Drink some juice, it'll run its course in 3 days. So then he got to backpedal. Fuck, I need to call back Terry and unbreak up with her.
Kind of wish I could have been a fly on the wall for that conversation.
Like, yeah, you didn't give me an STD. Would you still like to hang out with me? Like, that moment right there shows that Terry's a ride or die chick. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so you didn't give me an STD. Would you like to go out with me again? Because most chicks would be like, fuck you.
Right? Fuck you, you fucking idiot.
Oh, man.
That's fucking funny.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So were you going to say something before we unpause? Well, never mind.
So you gotta, like, think about this, because, like, I'm not naive, but in the same context, like, I wasn't, I guess what you'd call now the normal high school kid. I mean, I read an article where people, I guess this guy, and he had like crazy, he looked fucking insane. He had tattoos all over his face. He had a buck tooth, a crazy insane smile. I think his eyes were even tattooed or something. But he goes to the fucking school and he sat down and was teaching the kids about the birds and bees. And one of the comments in this news article was, that most kids nowadays would just pull up Pornhub and, pretty much scare this guy to death, or corrupt him or, traumatize him. And I mean, so I don't come from that era. So, I'm sitting there in the bathroom at the district and like, it's a full stream of blood. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh shit. Like, do I need to go get a tampon? Like, is this something normal? Like, I'm full on freaking out. I'm like, is this something, normal at a certain age? This happens. Who do I call? And I'm not like my friend that fucked a tree and then calls me and asks me how to get a fucking splinter out. So I sure as hell ain't calling Peter. And I'm like, hey, by the way, I just pissed blood and it burned like a motherfucker. What should I do? So it's like, regardless, I told the guy he was calling the wrong fucking number when he asked me how to get splinters out of his dick. Like, we're friends and all, but you're now saved in my phone as tree fucker.
Like, this was your decision, man. You figure out how to get the splinters out of your dick. Sorry.
Like, I don't think that they make enough lube to fucking knot in a tree. Like, you done fucked up. And I mean, how do you go back from that? Like, we've had this discussion before.
We keep coming back to the fucking monkey.
Well, I mean, if your last sexual partner was an oak tree in your mom's backyard, and the girl's like, so, can you tell me about your last sexual partner? Well, it was, it was pretty old, had a lot of rings. Oh, so it was married multiple times. Oh, I'm not sure. I don't know its past situation, but it definitely had a lot of, arms and reach and, oh, so it had extra appendages? Ma'am, it was an oak tree, and I'm a fucking moron, and I live in my mother's basement. If you'd still like to have sex, let's just move past my dumbass decisions.
Oh my god.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, thinking about the videos we watch in high school. Because, like, as the blood is coming out, it's full on, like, fire. It's like fire, ants, and a lighter is now flying out in a spear from, fucking, what's that show that was on HBO where they say, winter is coming?
Fuck. Why did, everything leave my head? Because honestly, the only thing going through my head right now is, this is Sparta!
That's 300. Okay, so, yeah, we'll even use that as an example. They carried those spears around. That was what was coming through my dick and out my urethra, or whatever you want to call it. I was in intense pain.
Oh my god.
Watching this murder scene. Like, you know how... And at that time, I realized I had horrible aim also, but it probably could have been because I was freaking out. But you know how they sit there and on a CSI episode, they're like, there was a droplet of spit, and we know by that droplet of spit that you raped these 92 women.
Yeah.
Honey, there was enough fucking blood in
so
that.
You're just fucking spraying blood all over the bathroom.
There was enough for 50, what do you call it? NYPD, CSI episodes, whatever, SUV, whatever, SVU.
That's Julie.
Yeah, so there was enough for, like, 50 episodes, okay? So, like, I'm sitting there, and there was enough for, like, 50 episodes of, like, NYC, you know, SVU, all that. Like, there was enough for that many episodes. Because it was just, like, everywhere. And I think that, like, once you start, like, peeing straight on blood, that, like, your fucks of caring about AIM has went out the window. Because now you have thought you're dying. Because that's what I thought. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh shit, I'm dying. But then I feel the penetration of these spear on fire going through my cock. And
Why was that your choice of word? Julie just walked in and the fucking look on her face.
Welcome to Office Baked. So
I'm just a child.
So then I'm like envisioning all of the videos from health class, and I'm like, oh yeah, it burns when you pee. Oh yeah, it could include blood when you pee. I'm like, I'm fucking dying of like hypochondriac gonorrhea or something. Like it's a new one that they haven't even made up. You know? So I called Terry, and I wish she would have recorded that call, because it's probably classic, you know. Like,
Well, there's someone up there.
So I'm sitting there, and like,
Barbecue sauce on my titties.
so I'm sitting there, and every video that like my health teacher has showed me, like, and worst case scenario about STDs is now going through my head and radiating my brain. And instead of calling a guy friend and being like, hey, is this normal? Or, you know, calling, you know, my doctor, calling a family member. No. What does Jay do? First call. Bring. Hey, Terry? Yeah. I kind of think you gave me something, so this ain't going to be working out.
Wait, was this the second time this happened?
No, this is only the first time. It only happened once. But what I'm saying is, like, I was describing, like, how it all went down.
Yeah.
So then, like I said, so I go to the doctor and everything. And then I, you know...
Do you have, like, kidney stone or some shit?
Yeah, and a kidney infection, all in one. So... Like, because they said that I drank, like, I was in college, I was drinking gallons of tea a day on top of gallons of pop a day. So, like, they were telling me
yeah,
that.
I've had one. They're not fucking fun.
And it just tears you up, I guess. So, I
think it's worse for guys, though.
Oh, whew. I mean, picture the hole is a lot smaller.
Yeah.
So now you're trying to fit a square into a circle hole, and the hole is 8 times smaller. Probably 100 times smaller, because if you've ever had to watch an educational video where a baby is being born, y'all can fit fucking watermelons out of that shit, so... Like, I was 10 pounds, 12 ounces. Like, I hate my mother, and I still feel bad coming out. No, I don't. But, I mean, like, I was a big baby, and now I'm, like, fucking skinny as shit. But, yeah, so that was my story of confusing a kidney infection with an STD and breaking up with my now wife.
That was just the first of many shenanigans she had to deal with.
Oh yeah, she normally knows, like, if I call her, like, okay, what now? Like, it's sad that we have weapons, cameras, and everything throughout the house, that it's kind of like we're always on high alert, and either we're going to get some good shit on video, or what is Jay going to do that's dumb? Like, I bought a taser, and I was with my brother, and I felt like I shouldn't buy a weapon that I'm not going to use on myself. And I'm like, and I know you're probably like, well, Jay, if you bought a gun, you going to shoot yourself? Well, no, but I mean, a taser, a 1,000,000-volt taser that they're bragging will take down like a 1,500-pound cow. I've got to see this shit. Okay, well, seeing and doing to myself or in experiencing are two different things. But so me and my brother were working at Intellos at the time. I was going through training to become an Intellos sales rep. He was the manager. So we're sitting at the counter, and every time a soccer mom would come in, we would turn that shit volts all the way up and just jab each other in the legs. So he'd be mid-flirt ready to sell a cell phone, and he'd just be like, ugh, and drop to the behind the counter. So it looks literally like some kind of sexual thing. Like, she's so hot that he just, like, you know, basically prematurely, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So he got me. And so I called Terry, and he kept going like this, and he's like, well, it's not working. He was hitting my metal leg. So I'm not getting tased. So finally, he's like, we gotta switch chairs. So we switched chairs. And the one time he got me, because I got him so many times, he lays into it and just leaves it on there. And I couldn't walk. I'm laying on the ground like this, freaking twitching. And the woman's coming in, and she needs to buy a new phone because she dropped her iPhone. She walks past me, and I can't forget this ever. She's like, is he going to be okay? Yeah, he'll be fine. Let me ring you up for a new phone.
Like you're laying on the ground having a seizure or some shit. He's just like, yeah, he's fine.
And like, he is the true definition. You get me and him together, or me and my friend John together, or me and my brother Angel together, or me and my brother Josh together, and the true saying comes to play, but did you die? like we push that to the limit of, but did you die? Like, because, like, no person should probably have taken a full 3-minute tase from a 1,000,000-volt taser, just held onto your leg, and I'm just sitting there. Like, you know how you used to make fun of retarded kids when it was cute back in high school, and your hands would instantly go like this, and you'd be like, I'm Billy the retard. Yeah, that's how your hands go when you're getting fucking tased, and you are not grabbing that taser. And I just, somehow, I'm in a rolly chair. So the chair rolls backwards. I drop out of it, and I'm on the floor. And I'm still, like, retarded twitching. Woman doesn't skip a beat, walks right by. So, is he going to be okay? Yeah, he's fine. Let me sell you that new iPhone. And I'm just like, fucking asshole. Like, I'm over here, like, full-on seizure. Can't move. Like, brain working, couldn't talk, still twitching, just watching the world float around me. It was
just
like
watching him sell his mission phone.
Yeah, it's kind of like being on edibles, but not the fun part. Like, I'm sitting there like, man, did I really fuck up this time? Like, Terry's gonna kill me. Like, that's the first thought in my head. Because I was like, man, she told me not to buy a taser. What if I'm, like, gonna be like this for the rest of my life? Because I hate when my wife has to look at me and be like, told you so. So, like, if I buy something and she's like, Jay, this is going to hurt you, this is going to kill you, I don't want to be proven. Well, if I'm dead, whatever, but I don't want to be, like, seriously injured and then her be like, see, I told you. So, like, it was better that I actually was okay. After,
well, obviously.
Yeah, but I mean, it took a good, like, 20 minutes and, like, really, like, coming to. But, like, I got home and I'm like, babe, you wouldn't believe what me and, Mike did. And she's like, what? And I was like, we were tasing each other for like an hour straight on full 1,000,000 volt, wattage. And she's like, you're an idiot.
All right, I'm going to go home.
All right. And that was our episode. You already know what it is. Hit the like, the subscribe, share, do it all. Hit the subscribe button, because we're going to keep coming with that content and that comedy like no other. I am Jay, and this is
Mackenzie.
And this is Office Baked. You heard me?
Choose from nearly 100 career-focused programs leading to bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees at Point Park University. Learn at Point Park's downtown Pittsburgh campus, online, or a flexible hybrid format. Learn more at pointpark.edu.
Today, vaccines and antivirals are helping us fight the pandemic and protect and treat millions. We have them because scientists and researchers in America's biopharmaceutical industry acted fast. After investing billions over years to develop vaccines and antivirals that can fight COVID-19, they took risks. Some failed. Others delivered breakthroughs in record time. And now, instead of supporting future breakthroughs, Congress is threatening drug pricing legislation that will devastate private industry's ability to develop treatments just like these. What's at stake isn't corporate profits, it's public preparedness, and the real risk that America becomes less able to face the next virus or stop the next pandemic. Why is Congress making us less prepared? Tell them to oppose legislation that would harm our ability to develop the treatments we need to protect Americans against pandemics. Paid for by Coalition to Protect Access.